Hello guys, hope you're doing well. Welcome back to my channel. In this video I will be reviewing the overclock firmware that it has a dev fee. So it's a free available firmware right now that Tswift has on his Discord and Telegram channel that you can download and basically have just a 0.5% of dev fee on that firmware, and we're gonna compare that side by side. So I have two of these KS3 originals running on the paid firmware 175 version, and I have two of these guys IP205 and 77 running on the dev firmware. So how do you know it's a dev firmware? It's the first of all, I'm gonna zoom in so you could see it's the different firmware version here on that 77, and I'll show you the one that I paid for KS3 Pro that just have Discord firmware. So that's how you can tell. So basically I have these two side by side mining. On the one is on the hum pool, one is on the K1 pool, and really hash rate overall in their both all four on 175 version of firmware, where average is about 345, so pretty close to 350, and that's on the dev firmware, and I have 354 on my other two that runs on the hum pool on my paid version firmware. Alright, so let's also take a look at my KS3. So this is the free version of the 8800 gigahash firmware that has a dev fee. Prior to that, I ran on my paid firmware for a long time. So I'm gonna just show you the 3-day stats basically on my Excel spreadsheet, how I did on that. And also I did KS3M, which I couldn't update more than 6,000. So basically 6250 and 6500 it wouldn't take. It would still run about 5900 gigahash. So I believe there's something with this miner, although on the if I do run the Ice River monitor, I don't really have big issue. Let's just copy that IP address and I'll show you. So there is no like overheat on my chips or anything wrong with that, but I'm not sure why it just doesn't take this firmware. So everything looks cool on the chips. They're like around 83, 84. I mean, a little bit warmer than usually I have them, and but look, their voltage is all below 0.5, no problem, and all the board temperatures looks great, and it still runs under, see, like if I refresh, it still doesn't go to 6200 like my first one, or to 64 sometimes. This one goes to 60, between 63 and 62. But I'm gonna be just comparing this to the prior date, so it will be easy to see. So let's open my Excel spreadsheet so I can show you guys. So in green I have all these miners that being on the paid firmware, and then in orange it's all my dev firmware miners. So let's take a look on the KS3 originals first. When I switched like on the February 1st, so really I just mined full first day, the February 2nd, right? So yeah, on the paid I got 24 Caspa, and here I get 23 Caspa in the first day, and then 24 Caspa and 24 Caspa, and then 26, 25. So very, very close. There is a very small difference, if that at all. And I think hum pool for me performs a little bit better for KS3 original, in my opinion. Just only for KS3 original and KS3 Pro runs a little bit better on hum pool when I tried the other KS3 and KS3M they do not do well for some reason on ComPool, but these guys do pretty well for me. I think something have to do with the pool location, the pin to the pool, and the miner being, you know, using the port wherever. That K1 pool has a dedicated ports for all of those miners, KS3, KS3M, and KS0 Pro, and KS0s. So they're all separate pool ports. Anyway, so that's for my KS0. I don't see a huge difference. I think they run, to be honest, pretty well. So if you guys have KS0s, you can now upgrade the firmware for free. Just know there is a small dev fee, which is 0.5%. So really nice. I mean, you still can run it, and you don't have to pay for it. If you wish to buy it, you can buy and mine without any dev fees, but they're really, potentially, it's like you don't really see that huge difference between the mining. Now let's take a look at KS3, right? So actually up to here, I should put it in the green because that's where I mine with my paid firmware, right? So and take a look here, that this is the network hash rate on the top on every day. So obviously, like if the network 160, you would get more Caspa than the network hash rate 166. All right, so the 2 days was pretty close as this and this day. So if we take a look on the February 1st, 163, and then February 4th, 163.7, still a little bit higher, but very close. And we do have pretty close, it's only like maybe 10 Caspa difference. But, you know, overall, I think they're made pretty well on this dev firmware compared to, like right here, we had 637, 634, 610. Obviously, the hash rate here was a lot lower. And after it goes up, it doesn't really quickly change here on the reward. So I think it's very good comparison to the paid firmware. So it's not a huge difference, really, probably just 0.5%. It's really gonna take forever to pay that amount of Caspa, if you would think about it, for paid firmware, like for KS3, right? So now KS3M, since I just ran it on 6000 version, 6000 gig hash, so there is no really, I haven't tried 6250 or 65 because it wouldn't take my KS3M, my second one wouldn't take that firmware for some reason. So I have to look into it and maybe try on my first one. But if you take a look at the rewards, okay, again, this was on the paid firmware over here. So I did 421, 429, 404, 424, and when the hash rate obviously higher, I did 413, but then 412, 422. So it's only 2 Caspa difference between the February 1st and February 4th. So really, dev fee firmware doesn't make huge difference, and it's free. Obviously, on KS3M, you don't really need on 6000 version, but I was gonna do it anyway just to show you guys. You still can run it and no problem, and especially like KS3 because that's most expensive firmware if you buy it. So you could still do, you know, in 3 days. I did 1890 Caspa here and 1872. So it's only 20 Caspa difference in those 3 days. So anyways, that's what I was gonna show you guys, and that I test. I haven't tested KS0 Pro just because I have them run like on different firmware, and it's gonna be pretty complicated because I have 2 of them running on 300 version, 2 on 320, and 2 on 340. So I have to kind of separate them and put them on the different pools just to be able to track like all this data, how many Caspa each of them mined, you know, because I'm trying to do like 2 of these and 2 of this, and then break down for you guys like for each. I'm doing 12 Caspa a day in average, right? And then here I'm doing as well 1250, so there's really small half of the CASPA basically difference there between paid and unpaid, plus it's a different pool, so yeah, you'll have to just take that in consideration as well. So yep, that's it for this video. We'll see you guys on the next one. If you need to make decision on this firmware, you can check it out, the Tswift Telegram, and download this version, DevFi version. I'll leave the link down below in the description so you can get to it and download it from his Telegram channel. Alright, thanks for watching. See you on the next one.